Hi folks, welcome to another Minion Masters video. This is going to be a crafting guide. I promised a long time ago that I was going to do it like a couple weeks ago, but I never got around to it because I'm a lazy bum. But, oh, yeah, I've been ranking up quite a bit. I'm master now on teams. It was kind of a grind, so I didn't record this stuff. It was a lot of back and forth. A lot of really good players. I am Diamond 5 on regular. But I plan to do some pre-made battles with my roommate soon. But, so anyway, let me do... So, actually, I'll show you the... This is like one of the leaderboard decks that... Was it this one? No. It was this one that I was running on the last stretch that actually got me to master, but I was actually playing the Rapolo deck and some of my APEP decks and stuff also to make it there. It was a grind. It was a grind. All right. So I will do the top legendaries first. This is probably pretty easy. They're actually the legendaries in this game. There's some really, really powerful ones. Obviously, some of the big guys are just disgusting, but they're high mana cost. You can actually kind of counter them a lot with cheaper decks that only run like rares and whatnot. But having said that, these are the top 5 legendaries in my opinion. This is all gonna be my opinion to kind of build around. So I'll go number 5 is the Colossus, and I'll go into it. So he's the total build me around deck. Like you can either step him to try to get him quicker to the base, or a lot of people use healing fireballs to keep healing him. Very, very, very powerful and will destroy the base very quickly. Also, a lot of people will run rage to rage him, or they'll use the card to split him to make multiple copies of him. So he's a total build around type, plan A part of your deck. You can just run a lot of stuff, and you can also be like a plan B, just putting a Colossus in there just to distract from the other stuff you're doing. But anyway, so that's why he's at number 5. Though is you kind of do have to build around him. If you just throw him in there, it can be all right, but it's better if you like run some kind of thing to get him there quicker, or maybe run some flame amps behind him, etc. All right, so Bothra the Witch Wolf, I'm gonna pick for my number 4. Oops, and I just got rid of him. All right, so Bothra has died, unfortunately. There he is again. Let's put him back in there. And I just dig him because he can destroy ground and air units, and he'll destroy whole mobs, which is really, really powerful. He does really good damage, even though I think he just got nerfed a bit, but I can't really tell too much. He's still pretty awesome. And he just looks cool as hell too. I mean, let's just get real here. But he goes well in a lot of decks. And then for my number 3 pick is MORARUL the Swarmer King. And I like him just because he can fit in basically almost any deck, and he just clogs up the ground, and he blows up small mobs because he does damage right when he comes in. And then when his main body dies, he has like 2 little helper guys. When the main body dies, he blows up again, and so he's really good at clogging up lanes, which is pretty cool. And he was the first legendary I got too, so I kind of have a special. The Swarmer King has a special place in my heart. All right, so what's this? So that was 5, 4, 3, 2, and we got rid of him again. All right, I think I need to go to sleep. I just worked all last night, and I'm very tired. But I wanted to get this out before I went to bed. So, Zhao Long. So Zhao Long, I think I made that video where I was running two Zhao Longs in a deck, and it can be really powerful because whenever somebody casts a spell, they get rage, haste, and shield. So if you're running multiple of them, like I was in that one deck, it gets really frustrating for the opponent because they can't cast any of their spells, or else they're gonna totally make this guy like double, triple effective that he normally is. Um, and that he's just a good cheap unit, flying unit. So sometimes he's hard to, hurt with. Yeah, if they don't have any things that can hit flying units, etc. And then he kind of hinders your opponents because sometimes they'll buff him. Like I've won games with him just being buffed and raged and hasted and just zapping their base away. So Zhao is a very good craft for legendary. And then my favorite, and it might just be because he's new, but I think he's a little OP right now, is the Ting Tang Tung. He looks cool as hell. He hits both ground and flying units, and his balls bounce around, so he kills mobs really, really quick, and does a shit ton of damage. Truck ton of damage. Very, very, very powerful. Um, and just look at this guy, very awesome. I ended up rolling another one, so I have two of them now. But very cool. All right. So moving on to Supremes. So for Supremes, coming in at number 5 for me would be BLASTMANCER. And he's really cool at like taking care of blowing up small mobs on the board. So like if somebody's like if you're playing a rat bow, or probably I can't, the guy that's like red deck wins, the guy that burns the bridges, I can't think of his name right now. But if you're playing against one of them, you can just blow up all their little small mobs with this guy usually, unless they're playing weird decks. But yeah, he's just really good crowd control, and then he blows up like across the whole board, so very, very powerful. And a very big target if you don't like getting rid of this guy. And then, so my number 4 pick would be Harbinger. And Harbinger is really powerful, but he's really damn slow. But a lot of times, like, units can't even touch him, so he'll just be shooting his arrows straight into their base. And then if you're also running the archer, the Stormbringer character, your shots go farther, so this guy becomes even more powerful. And he just does a truck ton of damage. Though, like I said, he's very, very slow. But he one-shots a lot of, almost, not all units, but a great ton of units this guy will one-shot. So, really, really good unit. All right. And then I would say my number 3 pick would be the Demon Warrior. And the Demon Warrior, it's one of my favorites. He just eventually takes over the game at the end of the game. You do have to commit to casting him, which he's kind of underpowered, like, starting off. So he'll lose to a lot of, like, decent ground units. He's really basically only good for like picking on like SCRATs and I guess like the regular warrior he can take. He's a little tougher than that, but yeah, he's not super tough. But when he gets the triples power and health, he becomes ridiculous. So, and he just looks cool as hell because he becomes a big giant building coming at him. So. All right, and then my number 2 pick for Supremes is Spiritmancer. And I think you guys have seen enough of my Spiritmancer videos that why I really dig this guy. He just eats up small units and just buffs your units by, at the same time, so it's pretty disgusting. And then, so the number one Supreme card, in my opinion, is Soul Stealer. This guy just single-handedly won so many games for me. It's not even funny. Like, once he gets a bunch of souls around him and he's just zapping away, the game ends very, very quickly. Very cool card. And so moving on to the rares. So, I kind of put all these in the fifth spot, and I would edge towards the Legionary Cleaver if you can only like make one of them, probably. But they're basically just kind of to take bases mostly, take bridges. But the Illusionary Cleaver just got nerfed a bit, but I still think he's perhaps the best of the three. This guy can be pretty annoying. But all these are cool cards to make. The Mana Puff will generate mana for you, so he's pretty cool. And then this guy will keep going back and forth between the bridges and retaking the bridges if you lose them, if they don't kill them. And then the Illusionary Cleaver used to be really, really, really powerful because it used to like take out flying scrap mobs and regular scrap mobs, and he doesn't quite do enough damage to kill them anymore. But still pretty cool. And then, so my number 4 pick would be Rammer. And Rammer's really had a resurgence recently. This guy has just been being played a lot. A lot of people will run like two Rammer, 3 Rammer decks to just try to cheese you out. And it's funny because this is like one of the first cards I was like, whoa, this card's really cool, and put in my deck and whatever, and kind of went away from him, and now like everybody's playing him a lot right now. So very powerful. 4 mana, if especially if you can do some distraction type stuff. This guy gets to just hammer out the base. He ends the game pretty quick. And then so I think I would go with Crossbow Guild for my 3rd pick. And I think I talked about it before. I think this card used to be a lot more powerful when I first started playing than now, but it's still a powerful card. I mean, if you can't answer it, it's gonna dominate the game. And if it's backed behind like a living the living statue or whatever, something like that, or like some big tank units, it can get out of hand really, really quickly. And then Shadow Whelp makes number 2. And this is very surprising because I used to not be that big on this card, but actually from making these videos that I've been making on YouTube and playing with this guy more, he's really impressed me more and more. He takes out one of the tougher, actually 2 of the tougher units to take out, which is Harbinger and Soul Stealer. And this guy takes them out very, very effectively. And he's just a beast once he gets to the base, too. Like, he chunks damage. I think you guys saw a couple videos where this guy just won me a couple games. So, really, really like the Shadow Whelp. It's a cool card. And then, so for my number 1 Supreme card would be the Fire Amp. This guy takes out dragons, he takes out colossuses, he takes out mobs. He doesn't take out flyers. Flyers eat him or shoot him. But other than that, this guy rock and rolls. You just put something in front of him, like any kind of mobs in front of him, and he'll do a lot of work for you. And I think he's banned in tournament play, but I'm not sure. But I had heard something about that. But this guy is just disgusting. Okay. So moving on to commons. So for commons, coming at number 5 would be Propeller Horde. And I think you guys saw how dominant the Propeller Horde could be with the rage cards. Like sometimes they can just take over games. But because like spells like Chain Lightning and Fireball and BLASTMANCERs are around, keeps this card in check quite a bit. Yeah, I've seen people run like 2 or 3 BLASTMANCERs in the deck, and if you're running this kind of strategy, you get kind of outed pretty quick. But it's very powerful. If somebody who doesn't have like any kind of defense for like big hordes of flyers, you can end the game really fast with those guys. And then so my number 4 pick would be the Flightless Dragons, and these guys just take out big units really, really quick, like big ground units. Like they'll take out cleavers, and they'll take out, which is kind of nice because sometimes you'll have like a cleaver running at your base, and you can just play this Flightless Dragons as a counter, and he'll kill one of them, and then the other 2 will kill the cleaver. So they're just good like fail safes like that. And then they also do a truck ton of damage if they actually make it to the base. Often they don't make it to the base, though. They're pretty squishy. But if they do happen to get there, like if you have some other mobs and they sneak in there, they'll end the game pretty quick. And so my number 3 pick is going to be a Laser Turret. Now, the Laser Turret is very, very powerful card. It's all defense. You're not going to win the game just playing laser turrets. But what's nice is it takes out problematic cards very, very quickly. Because it keeps zapping faster and faster at a single target that it's locked onto. So eventually, like, it will just kill, like, the dragon or one of the legendary guys, like, in a couple, like a minute or 2 if it just gets to go to town on them. So, it's just really good defensive card. That's why I made the list. Alright, so for my number 3 pick would be the SCRAT launcher. Now, this card just ends games, dude. It is very, very powerful. Yeah, the SCRAT launcher, you never want to see it launching at you, and you always want to try to put units around it to defend it. I mean, that's how powerful it is. It's won me tons of games, and lost me tons of games, and it's very disgusting. And then, so my number 1 pick for commons would be the Living Statue. Now, the Living Statue is kind of a build-around type thing. You can neither step it. It's a sort of like a poor man's Colossus, basically, but not as good because it doesn't kill mobs on its own. It just kills buildings. So you need to protect it to get it to the base. But it's similar types of things. You can like heal it, you can rage it, you can put fire imps behind it, etc., or BLASTMANCER behind it, and it will get the job done if it gets there. So anyway, that is my top guide for crafting. Those are all the cards that or at least my top picks for each of the categories that I would craft. Of course, there's other cards that are pretty cool. But, those would give you a nice punch to some of your decks if you had some of that stuff going on. Like, the Colossus is a strategy unto itself. The Living Statue, and the Colossus. And so is the SCRAT launcher, really. Those are all kind of like strategies you can, like, implement into with your other guys going on. And so anyway, that's it, guys. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you guys later. Bye bye.